What's up, Martians? It's M back with another video, and I know it has been a minute since I uploaded. I think it's been like a week, but honestly, guys, I had nothing to make a video about. Honest to God, I could not find a topic to talk about, and the thing that's annoying about this whole thing is just the fact that the algorithm for YouTube is so confusing to try to keep up with. So as you can see by the title, today, I don't actually know what I'm going to title this video yet, to be honest with you, but I do know we're going to be talking about the 3 upcoming movies from Avatar Studios, one being a Kyoshi movie, the other one being a Zuko movie, and then the final movie being a Korra movie, which, I'm not really, I don't care about that one. Let me not be biased here. But anyways, it is so exciting, and I would have made this as soon as I saw the post on it from Avatar Studios. But obviously I couldn't because life. But anyways, I actually was super hyped seeing that. I did not know we were gonna be getting 3 movies. I love Kyoshi. I think that might be, besides Aang, of course. I think Kyoshi is definitely my favorite Avatar of all. And I think for the longest time, people have always wanted more content on Kyoshi. We have the books, yes, but I really do think a movie will be just put the icing on the cake. So you have Kyoshi, you have Zuko, 2 of the characters that I feel like are very, very popular amongst Avatar fans. As for the Korra movie, I'm not too hype about it as I am about the Zuko and Kyoshi movies. But I mean, I feel like that one will be pretty interesting to watch as well. So the video I'll be reacting to is Avatar Last Airbender movie first look breakdown and trailer Easter eggs. I'm not sure which trailer, but I know for sure they're going to be talking about the upcoming 3 movies coming. And we know that he can't be talking about any particular trailers because of course there's no trailers out this early because you won't be getting any movies until I believe it was 2024. I swear to God, when I saw those dates, I can't lie, my heart dropped a little bit. I'll be darn near 30 years old by the time all of the movies come out in the first place. So it's just like thinking about the fact that it's gonna take so long to get this content. Is this definitely the downfall of it? But the fact that we're getting it in the first place is definitely a huge step because there's a time where we weren't for sure if we're getting any more content, especially from the original creators. So I guess I can't complain. I'm still excited about it, but I want to see what this creator has to say about it. What are their theories, things like that. So instead of me talking about it, I'm just going to watch him talk about it and then periodically pause it throughout the video and talk about it then. But I'm not going to pause it too much because I know, actually I'm going to pause as much as I want. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to limit myself. Okay, so as most of you guys know, obviously the live action Avatar Last Airbender season 1 has finally wrapped and everything like that, and so the cast and crew were having their wrap party, and so we have a lot to talk about. I definitely want to do a video on the live action anyway because I haven't touched on that much at all on this channel personally. I know my brother and I, we did our thoughts and stuff on the cast that they had set up, but they have casted more since the last time we did that video, so I will be making a video reacting to some more of the castings that they've confirmed. And so we're going to go through that in a video. And there's some other stuff about the live action too. So I'm looking a little bit hype. I'm a little bit shook that I'm actually this hype about it. But I can't lie. There's certain things that had kind of like dampened the excitement for me at first. But I really do feel genuinely excited about this series. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to try to upload it to YouTube. But honestly, I think I might just upload it to my Odyssey channel, which that'll be linked down in the description. So with that being said, let's react to this video.
Earth, fire, air.
I always will love that intro. I never get tired of it. Just the music in Avatar was just always top notch. They did an awesome job.
Welcome back, everyone. This will be my brand new Avatar The Last Airbender video about the brand new movie teaser trailer they released for the first new movie and what's going on with the other new movies they're developing that they just announced, and the new animated series that Mike and Brian are also working on. So there's like a lot of new Avatar coming. It's a really good time for Avatar fans. You're going to be eating good for the next several years. And just to be clear, this video is mostly about the new animated movies in the animated series, not for the Avatar The Last Airbender Netflix series, which is completely different, but I will talk about that too at the end of the video because they are still working on that. But if you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get everything. Of course, I'll do videos for all the new Avatar movies, all the new Avatar episodes that they wind up eventually releasing. It'll be just like the Avatar videos that I did several years ago. It seems like it's been a long time since I've actually made Avatar videos on a regular basis. But the reason why we know about this teaser trailer footage is because Nickelodeon showed it at a recent Annecy Animation Festival. It's the same event that gave us the brand new teaser trailer for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse that I literally just did a video for
Oh
a couple
crap! What
days
the
ago.
heck?
So I'll link that.
I really want to go to one of those one day, like a film festival. I feel like that's where all like the good. I don't want to say teaks is corny, but all the good information is spilled at film festivals. Not only that, but it's just really just the vibe
Below
for
in the
me. I really want to
description,
go.
they confirmed that it's going to be an Avatar Kyoshi movie, and it confirms the setting and what's going on during the events of the movie.
Ooh.
And during their presentation, they confirmed what the other movies are going to be about, as well as what's going on with the TV series as well. So don't worry, I'll talk about all that stuff too after the
Ooh,
teaser
this is gonna be
trailer.
so dope. Yo, I'm getting so freaking excited right now. I'm super hyped about this Avatar Kyoshi movie because I swear to God, since I was a kid, I was like, we need a Kyoshi movie. Ever since Avatar ended, I was like, if they don't do anything else, please give us a little bit more Kyoshi. We got the books, yes, but a movie just, I swear, I'm just so excited about it.
Footage for the Avatar Kyoshi movie started with footage of General Thong's fortress in the Earth Kingdom, followed by the tagline, "The Avatar returns," and the symbol for Earth, just to represent that it was about Avatar Kyoshi, who was born an Earthbender in the Earth Kingdom. We visited General Thong's fortress during the original series, so we have been there before, and during the teaser trailer, they wound up using a lot of footage from the original series, because they're still really early in production of the actual movie. I did a couple videos about this last year, but what they did last year is they formally announced that Mike and Brian were creating something called Avatar Studios, which is sort of like their version of Marvel Studios, but for all of the Avatar universe stuff. So they're making a trilogy of new films, they're making a brand new TV series, multiple new TV series, but obviously it has to start with one. But the idea is the footage in the teaser trailer is supposed to be taking place at General Thong's fortress in the distant past because the movie is set when Avatar Kyoshi was younger. The funny thing about her is that she was actually one of the longest living avatars we know about, one of the longest living people just in general within the Avatar universe timeline. So just in general, she wound up doing way more stuff than other avatars because she lived so much longer than them. She died when she was about 200.
That's what I'm saying. Like Kyoshi, like she is like a boss, like a G. And I think like even though we didn't, I mean, initially, even with this original series, before we got any extra content on her, I think she was just intriguing for all of us. Like, of course, we got to see other avatars, but she was the main one. I feel like a lot of us really were just drawn to. It's just because like there's so much to her character and so much that I personally admire from her as well. Like, I don't know why it is that I like Kyoshi so much. Like she's really just so dope. He said like she did live a super long time. And so I'm like, well, what exactly did she do? Because I know she had to have done a lot and have like a huge impact on like the world and society. So I'm like, I'm really hype about this, bro. It's crazy.
30 years old, and she was born just a little over 400 years before the events of the original series when Aang came out of the ice. But like the avatar right before her was Avatar Korra, the waterbender, and the avatar right after her was Avatar Roku, who we obviously saw during the original series. Avatar Kyoshi is probably one of the coolest characters that they've introduced in the canon, but there's not a lot of story that they've done for her character, so she was an easy slam dunk pick. Like, we all assumed at some point they would either do an Avatar Kyoshi series or they would do an Avatar Kyoshi movie. You may remember the brand new trilogy of books that they released about her early adventures.
Yep, got it right back there on the shelf.
Her team Avatar and their crazy adventures around the time when she was about the same age as Korra was during the Legend of Korra series. Like, for example, the series revealed what she looked like without her traditional makeup. Like, this is what normal Kyoshi looked like when she was just walking around. So the events of the Kyoshi movie are probably going to take place near that same time frame when she's a little bit younger. Like, all of the Avatar movies will be with younger versions of the characters, but some of them will be sequels. Don't worry, I'll explain what the other movies are about too in a second. But like, they're not going to do old lady Kyoshi when she's over 200 years old, but there might be a couple time jumps during the series. Just explain the timeline of her character though. For example, during the original series when they have those cool flashback scenes where Aang is learning about her lifespan, fighting Chin the Conqueror when she used her powers of the Avatar to separate Kyoshi Island from the mainland, creating the island itself, that was around when she was about 40 years old. Everybody remembers Suki in the Order of Kyoshi Warriors. Kyoshi founded that order before she fought Chin earlier in her lifespan when it was still a peninsula. Later when she died of natural causes, her daughter took over leadership of the island. Her name was Coco. So presumably at some point later in her lifespan, she got married to a man and had a child with him, but she had...
I am bothered by this. Whoa, hold up. She got married to a dude. Wait, hold up. I had to look it up to make sure, because I know I'm not tripping. You mean to tell me her and Rangi? I feel like I just butchered that name so bad. But you mean to tell me that they are not together? What is life? What does it mean? I really love that love interest. I like that couple personally. And you mean to tell me she ended up being with a man? A dude? Come on now. I mean, I really just ship them as a couple just based on what I read in the books. But aside from that, that is a downer for sure. But aside from that, I do agree. I think that I don't know. I think it'd be cool if we got like the younger parts of her, like maybe some parts that we read from the books to see it in action, and then also get other pieces of her life, like maybe a little bit later, like flashbacks, and maybe like the future, or whatever. I don't really know how exactly they plan on doing it, but if they could give us like different parts as well from other parts of her importance of her life, I think that'd be really cool. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm down with actually this style. I think, like he said, I don't think anybody really be interested in seeing her older and stuff. And this is something random I just thought about. Talking about being older, I was actually just thinking about this. I was like, do they get to choose what age they want to present themselves as when they're in like the spirit world or whatever? Like, you know, when they like die or whatever. I wonder if they can choose their age because Roku is like old, right? And then Kyoshi didn't die until she was super, super old. So, and then they show her like grown, but of course not, you know, like super old. So I'm just like, I wonder if they get to choose their ages. Cause my thing is like, why would you want to be old? Like, why would you want your final like form to be old, like the old version of you? Like, I want to at least be like middle aged me, or like, you know what I'm saying, like in my prime. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just thought about the randomly. I don't know why I said that, but anyways, yes, interesting, interesting, interesting. Let's get please.
Had her own version of a Kurosami kind of relationship. So she actually had a relationship when she was a teenager with one of the members of her version of the Team Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
Each avatar kind of had like their own team avatar, like they call it something different. During the original series, they call it the Gang with 2 A's. During Korra's era, they call it Team Korra. We'll meet versions of
I call
them
him
during
Team
the
Avatar,
Kyoshi movie.
honestly.
They were called the Flying Opera Company, and they were
Mm-hmm.
mostly made up of former members of her parents' former outlaw company. The reason why they were called the Flying Opera Company is because their group used the guise of a traveling opera troupe to hide their criminal activities as they moved around the Earth Kingdom. Kyoshi's parents
Definitely get the books and read them before you watch this movie. You have plenty of time to do so, but just like he's breaking it down here, all this stuff is explained in the books as well. So definitely worth the read. I know a lot of people don't really like to read them. You might be able to find them like an audio version where you can listen to it. But either way, it is worth the read. It's a really good book to read. But just saying, them having a Kyoshi movie after having these books is just awesome because I feel like we actually get to see a lot of this in animation. The characters, I feel like it's really going to hit different having these characters in live action. So we actually see what they look like and actually put their, because a lot of the bending and stuff seem very unique then as well. So it's just really cool to see how bending is used differently throughout time and stuff like that. Because you know everybody has their own bending style. So I think that'd be cool to kind of see in action as well.
parents were Jessa, an airbender, and Hark, an earthbender. Normally, when you see depictions of Avatar Kyoshi, she's wearing that ceremonial makeup, the headdress, the metal fans. The reason
Mm-hmm.
why Kyoshi dressed in that ceremonial way, wore that special makeup, is because that's how her mother dressed during their opera performances, so it was meant to honor her.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of look like, one of the other funny things about Kyoshi, not only did she live way longer than normal people, she was also super tall, so she was a whole
Freaking
lot of
giant.
Avatar. Because of the way they depict her in the flashbacks too, especially in the original series, she also kind of seemed like the stabbiest Avatar, like the most
Mm-hmm.
hardcore
That I
Avatar
think that's why
ever.
I
So it's
like
like,
her
why
so much.
wouldn't they do an Avatar Kyoshi project at some point? The maximum version of an Avatar. But
She's
eventually,
like a perfect mix of like she's really pretty, but then at the same time she's really savage. At the same, I think that might be why I like her. Yeah, makes sense now.
what happened when Avatar Kyoshi was born as the new Avatar, she eventually came into her powers as a teenager, and as she became friends with the members of her parents' troupe, they eventually became her team Avatar. There was Rangi the Firebender. She's about the same age as
Rangi,
Kyoshi.
not
When she
rank.
was a teenager, she also had a
Dang.
relationship with Rangi, like her own version of a Kurosami. But for
I don't
example, when her
understand why they
first
couldn't have
big
just
story
worked
picks
out.
up,
I'm
her
hurt
first
by
big
this.
adventure with her team Avatar, she's about the same age as Zuko started during Avatar Book 1. There was Kirima, the waterbender,
Mm-hmm.
Lek was an earthbender, Wong was another earthbender, and then Lao Gei was this really old earthbender and assassin, much wiser, obviously, than the rest of the group. He was over 100 years old on the
Mm-hmm.
team. So it would have been like Korra traveling around with old woman Toph on the team all the time, or like a much older version of Iroh traveling around with Team Aang all the time.
Mm.
That because they haven't really started working on the movies yet, there weren't teaser trailers for the other two movies or the TV series yet, but they did
That's what I'm
announce this.
saying. Like, I'm really excited about Kyoshi movie because we get to see these characters. Like I mentioned before, like seeing these characters actually take place. That is so freaking dope. You know what I'm saying? Like actually seeing how they look and actually seeing how they operate together. Like reading it, it's an experience, but I feel like actually seeing it is just gonna be so like on a whole nother level.
second movie is going to be a Fire Lord Zuko sequel movie to the events of Avatar The Last Airbender. Like, it'll take place a couple years after the events of Avatar The Last Airbender. And the third movie is going to be a Legend of Korra sequel movie set after the events of the original Legend of Korra finale. So besides the Kyoshi movie, most of the movies are sequel stories. Just talking about the Fire Lord Zuko sequel movie, obviously it'd be Dante Bosco coming back to do the character.
Yes.
Because his voice literally sounds the exact
Yeah,
same
it never
as it did during the
changed
original
at
series.
all. That's
Like, even though
crazy.
physically he's aged quite a bit, he doesn't sound like he's aged a day. For example, this is a funny poem that he created.
Fun fact, I had like a huge crush on him when he was in the Peter Pan movie. I just remember being a kid and loving to watch that movie just because I thought he was so cute and attractive. And his voice as well. That's just a fun fact. That's just so funny. I don't know why I felt they need to bring that up. I just think it's funny.
About Zutara, because fans keep asking him about Katara and Zuko's relationship.
The fans in the interwebs.
Yo, he has the voice of a teenager still.
Of the Zutara ship. Inside this poem,
accurate.
the poem goes, sometimes the memory of what could have been is so much stronger than what actually happened.
Zuko. It's so trippy.
Even though we didn't end up together, it'll never change the fact that you changed my life forever.
Oh, dang. Everybody just was kind of sounding like, dang.
In addition to just being like a
Well,
funny
he had to
poem
say it
about
like that.
Zutara, obviously, as you can tell, he doesn't sound like he's aged a day.
Not
it
at
sounds
all.
exactly like you remember Zuko sounding.
Hello, Zuko here.
Thing is, we're gonna talk about this more in the video where we talk about the live action. I think a lot of people are saying that they're most likely gonna make Katara and Zuko an item because of the fact that they did a lot of age changing, and so since Aang is gonna be, way like he's of course he was younger than her in the cartoon. I think now there's a lot of things that they're doing in live action. I just think that they might end up making Zutara an actual thing. Are you up for that or not? We're gonna talk about this more in that video, but yeah, let's keep going with this.
In his timeline, Zuko's daughter, Izumi, became Fire Lord when Zuko was like 83, 84 years old. So there's like this vast time stretch of untold story for his character that they could cover. But it'll probably be a younger Fire Lord Zuko story about the time period early in his reign before he learned how to rule an entire nation of people, like when really crazy things were happening. The Avatar The Last Airbender comics have already covered a little bit of that time span and answered some of the big questions like what happened to Zuko's mother? Like where did she wind up? What happened to Azula after the events of Avatar The Last Airbender? What happened to Fire Lord Sozin after Aang took his bending? I've already done a couple of videos on the real big stuff like what happened to Zuko's mother and what happened to Azula. Same situation with the Legend of Korra sequel movie. It'll just be set after the events of the Korra finale. I haven't actually read a lot of those Korra sequel comics. But like Janet Varney and the main cast will come back, all the main characters, because it'll be relatively soon after the end of the Korra finale. Like not a lot of time will have gone by. If you're a big fan of that kind of stuff too, sometimes the cast will actually do live readings of the sequel comics. I would recommend if you're going to start reading the stories, start with the Kyoshi story because that's going to be the first new movie to come out in a couple years. But what'll happen is we'll get more teaser trailer footage and we'll learn more details about what's going on with this Avatar Kyoshi movie in the TV series that they're working on. So as we get more details, I will do more videos, but it's still going to be a couple years before the movie actually comes out. It sounds like their plan is for the new TV series to run concurrently with some of the movies, or they could always wait till after all the movies are done. But I think the idea is that they want some of the stuff to fill the gaps between all the movies. So the new series could either be an Avatar Kyoshi series, or it could just wind up being a completely different Avatar. Let me know in the comments though, if they have all these confirmed movies, what do you want the TV series to be about? Like which Avatar do you want it to be about? Links for all my Avatar The Last Airbender videos in the comments below. The live-action Avatar The Last Airbender Netflix series will probably release episodes next year because they've been in the middle of shooting it for a while now. Everyone click here to learn about that.
Oh God. Oh, it is indeed hurricane season, people. Yeah, it's freaking thundering. It's like, what time is it right now? It's like 4 something. You guys can see how kind of dark it is. I mean, I have my light here, but it is dark and it's cloudy and it's raining. I literally got off work at 3. And as soon as I got off, the sun was out of the sky and it was cloudy. I'm like, you mean to tell me as soon as I get off work, the sun isn't even out to greet me? I got rain clouds just waiting for me. Besides that, people, what are we thinking? I think we all can agree that not many of us are really that hype about the Kyoshi, not Kyoshi, but the Korra movies. Let's just be straight up. Be honest with y'all. Be honest. We're not really excited about it. And if we could swap it out with another different type of movie, what would you choose? Like, who would you want to see? What Avatar would you want to see? Now, granted, we have gotten a lot of information on Avatar 1, not a whole lot, but we can't neglect the fact that there was a lot of information left out, including how he came to his death, because we got a lot of information, but not like a lot. Like the information we got was pretty much pertaining to how, you know, the Avatar cycle started, all that type of stuff, like Rava, all that good stuff. But we didn't really get a good grasp on Avatar One as a whole and what he like. Think about it. The first Avatar, how's the world receiving him? They have a lot of stuff going on as far as the spirit world being separated from the physical world, and then you have these people who have to deal with a new way of life, and then with that comes conflict and war. And how did this all come about? There's a lot of things that we have to look at when it comes to him and how his life went. And I feel like since we already kind of dabbled a little bit with Avatar 1, it'd be kind of cool to delve a little bit more and get more information on him as an Avatar, because you've already mentioned him. And of course, I'd love to get any of the other avatars that they've mentioned and that we know about, such as Avatar Korra. I feel like we got enough about Roku. I wouldn't really be that happy about Roku. I would love to get more about Avatar Yang Chen, and then also before her there was Avatar Jafar. He looks pretty dope. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like we should probably brush up on the ones that they've already mentioned that we haven't gotten much detail in. And if I had to put my vote in, I would definitely put my vote on Avatar 1, just because he's the first. We got to see how things, like, we have to see what the beginning looked like and how the nations came to be and what he even died. Like, why did he die? Like, the whole conflict, what caused it and everything. So we can actually see how good of an Avatar. I'm sure he was an amazing Avatar. He looked like he really did do his hardest to keep the peace, but I would love to watch his journey and see how everything went, because there's just so many questions that go with it. But if I had to choose a second runner up, I guess I would say Kuruk, because there's a lot of we got a lot of negative things from Kuruk, but we understand through reading like the Kyoshi books and stuff, he was kind of a misunderstood like Avatar, and we kind of know that like he had this perception that people had on him as far as him being the Avatar, but he was very much misunderstood. I would love to delve more into his character. It's also very sad as well. Like, he had a very sad life. So if I had to choose another one, a second runner-up to Avatar Korra, I would definitely say Yang Chen, because of the fact that we did delve a little bit more into her in one of the Avatar comics, and what we learned from her was really, really cool. And I really loved it. I think the part that they talked about was her battling against, I believe it was a being from the spirit world or something like that she had to battle with. But it was just a really cool thing to get a little bit more about her when she went through her whole Avatar thing. So I think that'd be cool too, to get more about her. And then delving into some unknowns that we never seen at all, besides maybe like a flash when they were showing the avatars, but not really getting much information on them. But I think it'd be really cool to just touch on different ones that weren't mentioned. But I think it'd be cool first to get the storylines of the avatars mentioned already or already shown to us through the series and whatnot. That's personally what I think. I'm really hype about these movies. Again, it sucks that they're so far out, but at least we know we're going to be getting them in the future, so somewhat back to back, at least something every year. So I guess that's a start. I really appreciate, the original creators for doing this and actually, being serious about it and actually doing it, and I feel like they're going to deliver for sure. So we have something to look forward to from the original creators, and also Netflix's interpretation. And what I'm saying, like, of course it's not, I feel like it's definitely not going to be the same as what the original creators would have created. I'm saying, it's their interpretation. They spin it and do whatever they feel like they need to do with it. But I think it's kind of cool. I think still is going to be a pretty good series to follow. So I think it's a win-win here. I mean, we get the live action sooner. I think we're supposed to be getting that about next year. So that's going to be hype in and of itself. So make sure you subscribe, because we're going to be talking about it on this channel and might even react to it together. So, hey, stick around for that. I am going to be doing a reaction to the Genji series. I did not forget. I swear to God, you guys. I am going to put this video out before, just because of the algorithm, like I mentioned before. But I will be doing the Genji episode as well. I put my reaction out this week, actually. So make sure you stay tuned for that. So if you're watching it, if you watch the Genji series and you're not subscribed, definitely want to subscribe. And also stay tuned for my video on the Netflix live action of Avatar Last Airbender, because we got a lot to talk about, y'all. It's not gonna be a super long video, but I definitely want to talk about it because I never got to talk about it on the channel, you know, blah blah blah. Hopefully you guys enjoy watching the video. Comment down below your thoughts, theories, things like that. Like, how are you guys feeling about the 3 movies? Are you satisfied? Let me know down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.